Who can get away with preemptive striking? Not you, civilian.
Where the kicks at? Where the pains? Where the holes? Where the throws? You know what I'm saying? Cecil.
And while they were here, they always wore masks to avoid being known. Now,
Let's go with the Wikipedia definition of a preemptive strike. According to Wikipedia, preemptive strike, this is their disambiguation page for it, refers to a surprise attack launched with the stated intention of countering an anticipated enemy offensive. So in other words, someone looks like they're going to attack you or do something to you, so you attack them first. Now, a lot of the self-defense in martial arts circles, they say that the person is displaying, threatening gestures, maybe they're invading your space. And if they do that, you're allowed to preemptively strike. And that is something I've always disagreed with because I don't think that everyone can get away with that. So I have a couple of clips. One's a real clip, one's a fictional clip. The real clip shows police getting away with preemptive striking. The fictional clip shows what I think will happen if a civilian tries to do preemptive striking. So, this is the police doing it, and they're going to get away with it. Actually, they did get away with it. Take a look.
Police body cams captured video, but not audio of the encounter. The image is now at the heart of a federal civil rights lawsuit.
Man, it left me feeling traumatized, man. I ain't gonna lie. You get nervous, and you get even more nervous once you see the police.
Leroy Kennedy says he was walking to a store last August in Humboldt Park when two Chicago police officers ran up to him, slammed him against a brick wall, and smashed his head onto the sidewalk more than once.
I told him, sir, I'm not resisting. I just want to get my glasses. He slammed me again, thinking I'm resisting.
The officers are soon surrounded by angry witnesses at the scene. The video appears to show Kennedy wobbling as he's led away in handcuffs. He says he suffered a concussion, as well as cuts to his face and hand and wrist injuries. In this police report, officers say they confronted Kennedy because he had a shocked look on his face when he saw police. And officers say they thought Kennedy was attempting to conceal a firearm. But no weapon or drugs were found. And later, after supervisors arrived, the officers appeared to have little to say.
What's he arrested for? They instantly started fighting. But you don't know what you're arrested for?
The police couldn't even pretend he did anything. So you have a police report which gives no description of a crime and no reason for approaching him other than his bulging eyes.
All charges against Kennedy were later dropped. The city's law department did not return our request for comment. And a CPD spokesperson said the department does not comment on pending litigation.
This fictional clip is what I imagine happens when martial artists go about preemptive striking. Martial artists who are civilians who don't have the authority to use force on people. This is what I think happens when we do it.
Next week.
And then you go to jail. Or you got to hide so you don't go to jail. So, how can the martial arts help alleviate this, you may wonder? Simple. Now, I know there are people who don't think that there are blocks in forms. And I think that if we go by the original design of forms, that's absolutely right. But if you go by the idea of block first and attack, that's how we can use our martial arts training to not necessarily preemptive strike. Yes, you're behind the 8 ball when you block first, but if you take the time to be defensive first before attacking, it saves you the chance of looking like the bully, looking like the brute, looking like the instigator. If you think somebody's going to swing at you, you can read from their body language, and you position yourself to nullify their attack if they continue coming towards you and they launch something and you're far enough away. You got to use that time to create distance, create space read what's going on in their body language. Then when they throw something, you're right there to counter, step to the outside and come, or step, if you're an inside worker, come in from the inside and work your attack that way. So that's where the whole thing that we do that we call one-step sparring. Uke yells and signals he's going to attack. Uke attacker. Tori, the defender, down blocks and yells that he's ready for Tori to attack. Then Uke attacks, Tori blocks and counters. But it's really more of a parry and encounter. That's where that will help you. So I've never really been a fan of the idea of preemptive striking. I'm not going to go into all the politics of who I think could get away with preemptive striking. I'm just going to leave it at the police. The police can get away with preemptive striking, and even if they get sued later and the city has to pay a fine later, most likely police officers are not going to go to jail on the spot for a preemptive strike. But you, civilian, me, civilian, we, civilian, most likely will, and then we're going to have to argue our case later. So, in my opinion, we shouldn't be teaching preemptive striking. We should be, as martial artists, teaching to defend, diffuse, avoid first, then attack, if at all possible. Again, this is for civilian violence. Of course, if you're in the middle of a war zone, that's different. And if you are walking down, this is my thing. If you're walking down the street at 2:30 in the morning, somebody comes at you out of the shadows, or you're off in the middle of a wilderness where there's nobody else around, and somebody's chasing towards you with their hand raised like this, with a weapon in their hand, and there's absolutely nobody else around, and you preemptive strike, that's fine. Something like this, I don't agree with that. So, thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Please share this with people at the talk about the martial arts in peace. And as always, thank you for your time.